Alright, hey everybody. So I actually had a video request to make a video about what a college lecture hall looks like. I know that's for me something that I'm used to, but I figured that actually is a very good request because college lecture halls look very different. The lecture halls that you might be used to, whether that be at private institutions or even in high school. So here it is. I'm gonna just go ahead and cut straight to a shot of me at a UC Berkeley lecture hall and show you guys what it looks like from the perspective of a student, in the front row, back row, what it looks like from a professor's standpoint if you're presenting. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and give it a big thumbs up if you do. All right, here it is.
Super lucky because I was able to get into a UC Berkeley lecture hall, and there's no one in here right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys around. Hope you enjoy the video. As you know, Berkeley is a public institution, so our lecture halls are actually very, very big because I have a lot of students in the class. And you're going to get to see a glimpse of that when I show you this video. Another thing you want to take into consideration when you choose a school is, again, this aspect of class size. And you know, you may be intimidated, but this is actually not the biggest lecture hall on UC Berkeley's campus. The one I'm about to show you is Dwinell. I think it's 155 Dwinell Hall. For those of you who are Berkeley students, you'll know it. For those of you who are not, you may be intimidated. So I'm just going to switch the camera aside and I'll show you around. I'll show you what it means to be a student in one of those desks. I'll show you what it means to be a professor when you're standing up here. All right, let's get straight into it. I'm going to first start from the perspective of a student. This is me. And now, let's say I just walked into class. This is what I would see. Okay, this is the lecture hall from a student's perspective. And now, let me show you a glimpse here. There's got to be at least 300-400 seats in here, okay? And now I'm going to take you through what I would actually do if I was in a class here. So, let's pretend, first of all, I just want to see how long it takes to walk down this whole thing. Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So if you want to sit in the front row, that's 16 steps you have to come down, all right? And this is the front row. So let's say I do want to sit in the front row. Well, I just pick a seat. So I'm going to go ahead and sit down here. This is where the professor is going to be lecturing. Let me put my backpack down. There's my backpack. I take a seat. And now, I would actually, this is the desk I would get to take notes. So this is the professor would be up there talking about parametric equations or something about the mitochondria being the powerhouse of the cell. And this, I mean, the desk is going to look out of proportion because you're on camera and you won't see how big it is. But let me show you. So obviously you're going to have a bunch of people sitting next to you. So even opening up backpacks and stuff can be insanely challenging. But watch me. All right, I'm going to take out a folder for scale, or even my laptop. All right, so I have a MacBook 13-inch Retina, and let me get my laptop out. This does not fit on the desk, okay? Like, look, it goes over by like that much, just to show you how small these desks are. And so you'd be opening it up, and obviously you would do your work on this laptop while the professor was taking the lecture. So it's pretty crazy. And now, that's what it would be like from a student's perspective. And, you know, there would be hundreds of people sitting behind you. And so that's just how it is. So some professors will actually opt to use these lecture boards, okay, to lecture. Other professors, you can't see it yet, but there's a projector screen up there. So the projector would come down, so other professors would use a projector. And this is what I'm going to say. If you're sitting in the front row, that's great. But in all of my UC Berkeley classes, I did not sit in the front row. I sat way back. If you sit in the back, like over there, it's so hard to see the board. All right. So just so you know, there's around 400 seats in here. Just to put into perspective, look at the desks. Those are the desks you're going to get if you're writing notes. As you can tell, you don't get a lot of space for that. But you make it work. It's worthwhile. I've had so many tests on these sorts of desks. This is my hand, and I can almost span the whole desk. But I've taken so many tests here. But yeah, so this is how it looks like sitting in the front. Now I'm gonna just cut to a shot of me sitting in the back. So sometimes I would come to lecture late, and I'd find myself in one of these seats with my laptop, and here's my laptop just chilling, and I'd be in the back. That is crazy, okay? Like, you don't understand how hard it is to see things from here, especially if you have glasses. So, again, always, my voice is echoing. Oh my god, that's crazy. But again, look at the difference. Okay, you see all 6 boards here. I can barely read that graph. You know, you see that graph? I can barely read what that says. And so, you know, there's a reason why they say public institutions will hurt your eyes, because if you didn't have glasses before, if you're not taking care of yourself, you'll probably get glasses. But yeah, from the perspective of back, this is what it looks like. And now I'll cut to the perspective of the professor. So what it looks like from the stage over there. So from the professor's perspective, which is up here, you're literally looking out into a group that is this large. So one last thing I want to talk about is some setbacks to this approach. Another thing that we might not have considered so far. Obviously, we talked about the fact that these boards can be hard to see, and one way you can get around that is by sitting closer. And the other way you can get around that is also because these lectures are recorded by these, people up there, so you can actually access the lectures online. The other inhibition that you may think, or side effects of these big classroom sizes, are the fact that you might not be able to hear. Like if I was a professor talking out and you're sitting in the last row over there, you might not be able to hear everything I'm saying. And that's when these bad boys come in. So let me zoom into this. I'm going to place it right here, actually. So this is a microphone. All classrooms at Berkeley that have a lot of students will come with one of these, and the professors will use it to talk. And when they talk, everyone could hear them because it's adjusted to a speaker system around the room. So almost everything you can think of that can be a bit of a setback, Berkeley and almost any big public institution will get around that. All right, and so that is a classroom at UC Berkeley, a big lecture hall. I mean, I've had tons and tons of classes in here. I've had math classes in here. I've had physics classes in here. I have neuro classes in here. All the classes are shared. But with that being said, you do have a lot of classmates. You'll meet a lot of new people. You meet a lot of new faces, a lot of new majors all the time in your classes, and it's a good way to meet people. But yeah, those are lecture halls at UC Berkeley. If you like that video, give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions for me, if you have any questions about university life, feel free to ask those below, and we'll get to them.